Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. It's a big day for football today, you know. I did a video yesterday about the whole Newcastle takeover, and I know a few of you got confused with the title saying, Younes, it's not billions, it's millions. I think if you'd watched the video, you knew exactly what I was talking about. I know the deal is worth around £300 million. That is how much Newcastle have been sold for. So 300 million will be going straight into Mike Ashley's pocket. He will be taking that and running for the casinos as he's normally somewhere in there. But anyway, it's done. Newcastle Football Club have been sold. It's been completed and the Premier League have confirmed it. But what I meant by the figure was how much this public investment fund, this consortium, how much money are they coming with to buy Newcastle Football Club? They are coming with a £320 billion wallet, let's just say. Now, as I've already clarified, this doesn't mean that Newcastle are going to have a £320 billion transfer budget. No. What it does mean is that they have potential access to 320 billions now. And it's up to the owners. It's up to the owners. Now, this deal's been completed. We are going to jump onto the Chelsea news very shortly, but I thought I'd give you the clarity in terms of the confirmation. The Premier League have come out with a statement saying this. So, the Premier League, Newcastle United Football Club and St James's Holdings Limited have today settled the dispute over the takeover of the club by the Consortium of Public Investment Fund, PCP Capital Partners and RB Sports and Media. Following the completion of the Premier League's owners and directors tests, the club has been sold to the consortium with immediate effect. And I have to say, look, I've given all the analysis in yesterday's video, which you can check right here if you haven't seen it already. All the ins and outs, the money side, what it means for the rest of us. But now that this is done, I want to say something before we jump onto the Chelsea news. To Newcastle supporters, Newcastle fans, because I know a few Geordies, right? I've got some mates of mine that I've not just been mates with, but I've worked with. I've done all sorts, and honestly, they are some of the best people in the country. I'm so happy for you guys, all the Newcastle, all the Geordies out there. I am so happy for you. Yeah, I'm buzzing for you because we know what it's like. Yeah, we know what it's like, and you know what's funny? Unlike Manchester City, I didn't have this reaction when Man City got bought out because Man City didn't hold the same heritage as Newcastle have. Newcastle are an already established institution. You know, the stadium that they have, St James's Park, has been iconic for decades. You know, 55,000 seat stadium, I think it is already, and they've had that for years before like everyone started renovating and expanding and all that. Newcastle back in the day, the times of Alan Shearer, the times of Kevin Keegan, all that, you know, they were a big club. They were playing Champions League football. They were at the top end of the table. They were really respected. And I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened, but that fan base have been so loyal and so determined through thick and thin. We've seen Newcastle get relegated and that fan base just keeps going on and on and on. And that's something we can't say for Man City, for example. I mean, with all due respect, but it's just not the same. With Newcastle, all of their fans, after 14 years of misery under Mike Ashley, the fact that he just did not care. He did not care and trust as an individual with the money that he has. He's not exactly the wisest with his money, is he? He is someone that just likes to throw pound notes into the ceiling and throw it out into the road, and he wouldn't care. He wouldn't care. So I'm happy for Newcastle fans. You've been through hell. Welcome back. Welcome back to the big boys club. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And it's going to be interesting competition to see what Newcastle can do now, because trust me, yeah, when it comes to the next summer window, I honestly think they're going to start spending big. And I mean big. Big in terms of a very wise way. I don't think they're just going to start trying to get Mbappe or Haaland. No. But I think they're going to be sensible. They are going to go after top targets. On one condition, though. Newcastle have to remain in the Premier League. They can't get relegated. And right now they sit in 19th. So are they going to change the manager? Steve Bruce is under pressure and apparently he will be losing his job. However, when? We don't know. The two names that have been linked with the Newcastle job today, Two former Chelsea lads. Frank Lampard, Antonio Conte. Gonna be mental. We'll see what happens. But October 30th, we play against Newcastle at St. James's Park. That's gonna be one hell of a fixture. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's not gonna be the finished article in terms of Newcastle. They will just have the same players. They might have a different manager. It could be Lampard. It could be Conte. We'll see. There's still a bit of time. But right now, new owners have walked through the door. Newcastle fans, my Geordie friends, go mental. Go crazy this weekend. Go crazy tonight. Best of luck, and I'm very happy for you. Now, let's jump into the Chelsea news for the second part of this video about a certain player which I feel we need to discuss. We need to discuss today. Christian Pulisic. It seems like Chelsea are determined. Chelsea are determined. They want to make sure that they fix this guy. They are determined to make sure that they can finally break this injury curse that Christian Pulisic has. Let's check the latest in terms of what Chelsea plans are. Here it is. Chelsea will use this international break to step up rehab for Christian Pulisic. A blue source on when he is expected back said maybe next week, if all goes well. Look, Christian Pulisic, I hope he's ready next week. I really, really hope he's ready next. He better be ready next week, because if he's not ready next week, I am seriously concerned. Here's my take on Christian Pulisic. An injury-free Christian Pulisic walks into this team. I wouldn't say easily, but he is definitely one of the main players that you look at first on the team sheet. You know, you talk about Mason Mount being in the team sheet. You talk about a Rudiger being one of the first names in there. A Kante, for example, or a Jorginho. But a Pulisic, in terms of that front three, is crucial. Why? Because when you look at all of our options, Pulisic, without a doubt, is the most creative player we have. And right now, I feel like we need some creativity. And I don't mean creativity in terms of just a tight space, being able to do one thing, being able to do one little dribble. No. And that's the kind of problem that we seem to face with Hakim Ziyech, for example, because he's seen as a creative player, but he certainly hasn't been playing like one. With Pulisic, though, you know he has the capabilities to drop off the shoulder, to dribble past multiple players, to get into tight spaces, to, wiggle the ball about in between 2 or 3 defenders, create space for someone, drag defenders away because of his speed. He's quick, he's fast, he's able to get the ball to glue to his feet sometimes. His only problem, on top of that, by the way, he scores goals. He can score goals, he assists, he does all of it. The one problem, though, is he's not consistent. And he's not consistent because, he's not consistent because bad form. He's not consistent, right? Because he gets injured all the time. And this needs to stop. The thing where we look at in terms of a good comparison, in terms of where he should be, right? I'm going to bring Eden Hazard into the conversation now. And some people are going to say, yeah, but Younes, come on. Christian Pulisic is not good. Is not as good as Eden Hazard. Cool, I hear you. But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about on-the-ball ability. We know what Eden Hazard can do on the ball. Sometimes it's pretty mental, right? But the one thing that Eden Hazard did when he first came to Chelsea was help himself in a very, very important way. And how did he do that? By putting on some muscle, by looking after his body, by training hard after that one pre-season and coming back a beast. Why? Because it's the Premier League. You need to. You cannot stay consistent in the Premier League when you're, with all due respect, I'm saying this hypothetically, when you look like a feather, right? Eden Hazard walked into this Premier League and he was skinny. He was quite thin. He was quick. He was skillful. He could dribble. He could do all that. But physically, he wasn't there. Pulisic, same sort of mould. But what did Eden Hazard do after one pre-season? He came back when Mourinho returned to the club, to Chelsea, when he returned to the club. Eden Hazard came back after that one pre-season. Look at the difference. He'd put some mass on his legs. He managed to stock up a little bit, but he managed to stay agile. He managed to work on his resistance, his strength, and his speed. And what did he do? He maintained his speed, he maintained his agility, but he added strength and he added resistance. And that meant anyone that tried to take the ball off him now found it not just 2 times, but 3 times harder. However, Eden Hazard still maintained the same speed and the same agility and the same pace to his game and his dribbling. So that enabled Eden Hazard not just to shield the ball well, not just to maintain himself in the Premier League at a good level because he's managed to get himself to a strong level for him to cope with what the Premier League demands, but the way that he's able to drop off a shoulder, the way that he's able to turn 180, we all remember the 180 that Eden Hazard used to do. He's literally facing one direction and then boom, he's switched. And you're like, Eden Hazard, where's he gone? And you're looking behind and he's like, oh my God, he's all the way down there now. How the hell did he do that? He turns at such a lightning speed, it's ridiculous. But that comes when you've developed yourself, when you've taken your body to another level physically. Pulisic needs to do that, man. Eden Hazard done that in one pre-season. Pulisic's been here 3 years. 3 years. It needs to change now. He needs to get his body to adapt. He needs to work in the gym. That rehab needs to go well. And then after that, he needs to work on his strength and resistance. He has to. He needs to get his muscles to adapt to a certain pressure, to a certain level, to a certain resistance that the Premier League demands. Because the Premier League, without question, is the most physically demanding league in world football. And if anyone wants to say different, please, you haven't researched the Premier League well enough. You don't watch enough Premier League football. It's without question the highest demanding league in the world. Your body needs to keep up to that level. It needs to. And if you do that, you won't get injured unless if someone comes through you and tries to break your legs. That's a different story. But I mean muscle injuries. I mean pulling a hamstring. I mean pulling a groin, pulling a thigh, tearing some sort of muscle. If you look after yourself and you put yourself at such a level, those injuries won't occur, or at least they won't occur as frequently as we're seeing with Christian Pulisic. And as I've said, for Chelsea, it's important. Why? Because he is our most creative player. If he's in the team consistently, there is no doubt that we create more chances and we get more goals. And right now, we need it. We need it. So Pulisic, I hope after the international break, I hope you're fit. I hope you're ready. I hope you're all good to go all guns blazing. And you're going to start getting your level to a sustainable stage, a sustainable level where you don't get injured again. Unless someone tries to break your legs, that's a different story. Or you twist an ankle, you tear your Achilles, you do something that happens. It happens. But a fully fit Pulisic helps Chelsea a lot. So I'm hoping we get him soon. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I want to hear your thoughts on the Newcastle completed takeover. What are your thoughts on that now? It's officially done. Let me know what you think about Christian Pulisic, what I've said, his injuries, the fact that he might be back later next week, and possibly after the international break, we might see a fully fit Pulisic back in the squad. Do you agree with what I've said? Are there any points that you want to make that I haven't addressed? Let me know in the comment section below about Pulisic. I'd love to hear it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new video. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care. And peace.